We're Wendy and Howard, the Sojourn Seniors. We travel the world, and today we're sharing one of our exciting adventures with you.
In this episode, we're at the Fushifaru Resort in the Maldives. We flew 28 hours, 4 flights, and 3 layovers to get here. Truth be told, we're a bit jet lagged, but we're in paradise now. So jump in the pool with us as we share our experiences on our 4th day at the Fushifaru Resort.
Hey, Howard.
Hey, Wendy.
Here we are, the Sojourn Seniors, on day 4.
Yes, now we're actually here in the pool for our daily report somewhat later than is normally the case. Usually we're in the pool about 3 hours earlier. Not today.
Because
they're installing new sleep machines in our pod.
I'm sorry. That's ridiculous.
I know it is.
You know it.
It is. They're installing a new air conditioner system here. We've had hiccups with the air conditioning system only at night in the middle of our sleep, our slumber, where suddenly it gets very warm, which is one thing to contend with. And the second one was that it has 2 blue lights on it.
It's strobe at night.
Yes, because it's not operating the way that it should. It's calling for help.
So in the meantime, we went down to the dive center where Howard was working with his drone. And as I was coming along, I noticed that there was a parrot on his head.
Well, not just a parrot on my head. There was one on my knee. I'm a 2-parrot kind of guy. And I had run into this yesterday when I was just walking along and Wendy was behind me. And all I hear is, Howard, watch out. Oh, no. And I have no idea what she's talking about. And this parrot flew in from behind me and landed on my shoulder. And
it's taken a real liking to him.
Yes. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm a parrot kind of guy. So today I was sitting sort of on an elevated walkway, my feet in the sand, my butt up on the walkway, and I was flying the drone. And one parrot landed on my knee. And then the other one just came over and landed on my head. Now
he had his hat on.
Yes, I had my hat on. So, the one on my knee wasn't too much of a problem. I mean, they're well behaved. The one on my head, however, all I could do was to see its image in the controller I was using to fly the drone. So I had to get up and move. So, and of course, that's when I lost both of my parrots. But I'll be back there tomorrow, so I have every reason to believe I'll have yet another parrot encounter.
So while he was doing all of this, I had decided to go do a stand-up paddleboard. Well, that was a fail. I could kneel and paddle, but the waves were coming in enough that as soon as I went to stand, the paddleboard would roll. So I gave up on that and I started snorkeling instead. And I saw some interesting fish and a lot of pretty coral, so it was worth it.
Yeah, tonight, about 4:30ish, we're going on a dolphin cruise. And the people who arrange this stuff are really very funny. We're talking about what time do we have to be there, what they're going to have on board for us, all the rest of that. And he looks at me and he says, now you do know that you won't be swimming with the dolphins. And I said, you saw me out there with parrots, right? He said, yeah. I said, I'm a parrot kind of guy. I'm not a dolphin guy. I don't need to swim with dolphins. Not when I've got parrots on land. He just looked at me like, what the hell's wrong with this guy?
Something lost in translation.
Yes. I was like, the other day when he told our wait staff that she had seen a bat, and he was convinced she had seen Batman.
Yes.
So,
and by the way, I saw that bat again.
Yeah.
It is the size of a cat.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Flying around.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
And it's flying during the day, which surprised me too.
Very active during the day, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's see. So you did the paddleboard, the wave board. You did some snorkeling. I flew the drone. We shot some more walking footage of the island. And tonight we'll be shooting some footage of dolphins. I hope.
We're already talking about coming back.
Yeah.
Just an FYI.
Well, I mean, one of the things that I know I've voiced this concern before I got here, which was I had never been or spent any period of time on an island so small that I could walk around it fairly easily. I mean, we've been to Key West, for example,
but you can't quite.
Yeah, we've walked. I mean, especially when I was running, I used to run all around it. We've been to Capri in Italy, and we've hiked all over Capri. I mean, we've done that,
Yes.
but this was a very small island.
Yes, my sister wanted to know what kind of shopping there was on the island. None.
Yeah, there's none.
There is none.
There's none.
And that's okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they have a boutique, but you go in and you sort of look around, and it's sort of like someone said, what's the bare minimum we can carry so we can check off the list that we have a boutique? And that's what they did.
And that's okay too, because
Yeah.
we don't need anything.
No, no. I mean, if you need some sort of cord for your iPhone or your iPad or whatever, they've got that. If you need a cover up, if you're a woman, they've got that. But no T-shirts, for instance, no sweatshirts, no swimmer active wear, anything of that type or kind. So it's which is fine because we didn't come here to shop. It's
We
yeah.
came here to live the dream,
Yes, we did.
and we are.
Now they serve this iced tea beverage at the bar, and I have just become enamored of it. And I was curious how they make it, and it took 2 rounds of questions to get at the whole thing. Again, this is the thing about English. I'll come back to that in just a moment. So they told me it's made with English breakfast black tea, which I drink every morning, and lime juice, which we've used from time to time, and we can buy lime juice. But this thing was not exactly sweet, but it was on the sweet side. Is that a fair?
Plus, yes, that is. Plus, it had sort of a little foam on it.
Yeah, sort of like a mini head sort of thing going on here. And the guy kept telling me, no, it's just black tea, English breakfast with a little bit of lime juice and some ice, and that's it. So I kept asking other people who worked at the bar, how do you make this? And finally, one of them fessed up and said, well, we use the English breakfast black tea. We do use lime juice, but we also put in a little sugar syrup. There we go. Sugar syrup.
Very good.
That's what we were missing, because I've never had sweet limes before, and that's what it would have had to have been. I mean, it had some sort of sugary taste. So while I was waiting for Wendy to finish snorkeling today, and after my parrot encounter, I was talking to one of the young men who works in the diving center. And so he was very curious if we were enjoying ourselves, having a good time. And everybody here says that to us every day in every way possible. And we've gotten to the point of asking them, are they having a good time? Did you sleep well last night? I mean, I don't know what else you could say. And so I asked him, do you have a lot of Americans that come here? And he said that before COVID, virtually none. That this was more or less the province of the Russians, the Europeans, and the Chinese, which we had heard. But immediately after the COVID epidemic, they started to see a rash of Americans come in. But right now, it's fairly quiet here.
Yeah.
There are some Russian nationals here, obviously. That's the case. There's some Europeans. I mean, you hear a smattering of languages.
Yeah.
And even some Chinese.
A lot of Germans.
Yeah, Germans. True that. And I've heard a couple of English accents.
Yes.
And it's a very polyglot sort of community.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
But English is very far down the food chain in terms of understanding English here.
And they're so well practiced here that when you say something to them in English and you look at their facial expressions, even if it turns out they have absolutely no idea what you just said or what you just asked them, they portray a sense of confidence so profound that they've understood every single word. But when they stand there and just keep looking at you smiling, you get the impression that maybe something was lost in translation. So we've had a couple of prolonged conversations with people, which, take a little bit of explaining on this and that, and before they get the true sense of what we might be asking. So.
And Dixie, our hostess, who is assigned to us, has done a very good job. But what's really sort of funny to me is that she'll say a sentence of some sort, like, you're having a good day, always concluding the sentence with yes.
Yes. Well, I guess she can't say no, so she says yes.
Day, yes.
Yes. Meal was good, yes. Did you have a good sleep? Yes. I'm sorry about that. We'll fix that. Yes.
Exactly.
Always yes.
But she's very accommodating, very helpful.
Yes.
So it's nice to have someone assigned to you to take care of things.
Now, announcement here. I mean, this is a major sort of breakthrough. We have stayed at lots of places, and typically my reaction to the places we've stayed is there's not a lot of storage for your personal effects and your clothing, and so we end up living out of our suitcases more or less. You know, they'll have the usual sort of alcoves and the folding devices. You know, the X with the webbing in between, where you can put your suitcase down. This place that we're in has more drawer and hanging space for clothing. Maybe even our own home doesn't have as much.
Now, one of the problems, we both lost something.
Yeah.
Now, I have chased all over the island looking for my sunglasses.
Said everybody looking for her sunglasses.
Yeah, looking for my sunglasses. Well, they're on now. I finally found them. They were in one of my shoes.
Yes. In the
Apparently,
meantime,
I'd stuck it there when we first got here, and I was really jet lagged.
yeah. Apparently, I mean, they've got everybody out looking for these glasses. You know, so, and then the shirt that I wore when we landed has mysteriously disappeared, but I'm not too sure. Number one, it isn't in a drawer here someplace, and I just haven't found it because there are that many drawers. Or I sent some clothing out for them to launder, but there's sort of a delay. I mean, you send your laundry out in the morning, and it's supposed to come back before noon the next day. And so I've been sending some stuff out for over a 3-day period of time, getting ready for the return, because our return trip is spread over 2 days, taking about 47 hours or something like that. And I don't want to travel in the same shirt and the same pair of pants. And, you know.
So Dixie is on the lookout.
She's on the lookout for that shirt, but I don't know that it isn't here. It might very well.
We just don't know where.
Yeah, we'll just continue to look for it. And thankfully, there's very little in the way of TV to watch here. Fair statement?
Yeah, we watched a tiny little bit of CNN and done.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of CNN goes a long way.
True.
But beyond that, there's no visual entertainment. And of course, we had the experience last night. We have always had, whenever we take some sort of long trip and we're crossing many, many time zones. We had spent a good day yesterday. We were out and about. We got up early. We did our morning feeding, you know, at the restaurant.
For a minute there, I thought you were going to say at the trough.
Yeah. We did some snorkeling. We flew the drone. We walked all around the island. We walked up and down. They've got sort of 2 walkways that run through the spine of the island from north to south. I mean, we have been all over this thing. It's not a big island, as I said before, so, you know, the walking is not extraordinary. I think at the end of the day, we did like 5,000 steps or something like that. But they're in sand. And steps in sand are a good deal more taxing on the calves than, you know, walking, say, on some sort of,
True enough,
you know, finished asphalt or cobblestones or concrete or something of that nature. So we got back and we showered again. I think it was early evening, because we're not eating dinners. We just haven't felt hungry here for dinner.
Totally skipped them.
Yeah, and you know, did some video editing and all the rest of that sort of thing, so we can share things with you folks when we get back. And at about 8 o'clock, I thought, you know, I just need to lay down to close my eyes. And I woke up at 4:30 this morning. We just lost the whole evening yesterday, which was a first for us here. But it happens whenever we have traveled far beyond our native time zone. So,
and snorkeling is exhausting.
Yeah.
Especially when we were swimming against some currents.
Yeah.
That were running sort of hard yesterday.
Yeah. True, all of that. And of course, we're in this pool. And we've already talked about the pool temperature. And it's amazing how, number one, it'll cool you off, but number two, it just saps your strength. Just takes it right out. Yeah.
Yeah, after our set in the pool, it's time to go and take a nap.
Yes. Yes. You know, Wendy often says, let's take a tour. Well, she has a new second favorite saying now, let's take a nap.
Yes, indeed.
So we do that.
It's all good.
Yes. So we'll see you again tomorrow.